Again rally in Pensacola, Florida. Joining us with a reaction are American Conservative Union Chairman Matt Schlapp, former Special Assistant to President Trump and former Press Secretary for Vice President Mike Pence, Mark Lotter, and Republican strategist Noel Nickport. All right, I got to tell you, every time I listen to the president speak and get those audiences fired up, I say to myself, there is no one better than the president, than Donald Trump with an audience. I mean, we were the cheering and the sense of Americanism it's infectious. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, it's electric. And I think, you know, Donald Trump is doing something very important that presidents sometimes fail to do. He's getting out of the bubble. He's piercing the bubble. He's going out there and talking to real Americans. He's feeding off the crowd. It's electric. And I think it really gives him energy. Yeah. And I think it's really important for a leader to go around the country and tell him what he wants to do. And my gosh, he didn't leave anything on the table, Judge.
Well, and it's clear, Mark, that Matt is correct. He hit every note, whether it was the, sanctuary cities, the Second Amendment, religious freedom, Buy American. What's your take from this speech?
Two things. One, he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do on the campaign trail. And two, every time you see the fake news about how he's not having a good time in the White House, trust me, this man loves being president of the United States and taking it in the direction to make America great again. And you saw it tonight.
Oh, without a doubt. And Noel, take away from tonight?
You know what, Judge Janine? America needed this tonight. America needed this speech. I was about to jump through the camera when I was listening to this. I was so proud to be an American. Yeah. And he puts America first. And we needed this right now with all the division between the parties, between the GOP. And then another thing is, he just listed why he is the champion. He's the mascot for the middle class, for the working American. I mean, this is such passion, and you know he loves this. He's not reading off teleprompters. This is his heart. This is who he is, and this is why he ran for the presidency. And look at the markets that, that are enjoying the ride of a good economy. We're back on track, and America felt it tonight.
And, and I'll go back to you, Matt. One of the things he talked about, which was, one of the more interesting points is when he talked about the fake news media. I thought he said, maybe with the drop in the 350 points when Brian Ross came out with that, some would say inaccurate or fake news, some might say a lie about Mike Flynn possibly testifying against the president. He said, you know what? They ought to sue ABC. That was a shocker. Do you think that was an ad lib, or you think that one was in the speech?
A class action lawsuit for their losses in their 401ks. I think what you see at the end there is he comes back to the themes that he ran on, and you hear the cadence of those familiar lines. But in the middle of it, Judge, it's all coming from Trump's heart. Yeah. It's spontaneous. It's what he feels. It's coming right out. And I do think he has a grievance with the media, Judge. He was not talking about you, by the way. Look, conservatives have been trying to prosecute this case against the left-wing, left-leaning for decades after decades, for generations. And he comes in with this concept of fake news. And I think the American people really realize they don't want to hear it anymore.
And you know what? I mean, he opened everyone's eyes. In the beginning, he thought, Mark, maybe, this fake news, that's ridiculous. But I think people are understanding it really is fake news, that there is stuff that is inaccurate, that is outright lies. But, Mark, one of the things that he said that I wasn't aware of, the president said that black home ownership is the highest that it's ever been in the history of this country. You think anybody would give him credit for this? And did you even know this, Mark?
I did not know it until we heard him say it tonight. But when you look at the economic record of this president, it is so remarkable. We had the new numbers come out today. I mean, manufacturing, Obama was losing 1,000 jobs a month in his final year. This president's adding 16,000 manufacturing jobs a month. He said he was going to rebuild American manufacturing. He's doing it. So many of these things you're not going to hear unless the president gets out there and says it himself. And that's what you saw tonight on full display.
And finally, Noel, when he said something interesting, he talked about $7 trillion that we have spent in the Middle East. He said, you know, we could rebuild the infrastructure of this country 3 times over. What do you think he was saying? I mean,
I think he was telling Americans, look how much waste is out there. Look at what we're doing. This is why a businessman, this is why his leadership, under his leadership, we've had massive job creation. We have a rallying stock market. We have basically making America great again. I know that sounds oversimplifying things, but that's exactly his message, and that's what's happening. And anyone that says, oh, whatever, Donald Trump's not doing anything, look at the numbers. I mean, the economy's not lying. The fact that people have money in their pocket, it's not lying.
Well, and the prediction is much more. Anyway.